created a controversial clue, naming Paul as the writer of Hebrews.
If you get a traditional King James Bible and open it up, it will say the Epistle of Paul to the Hebrews. That's where that comes from. And so somebody familiar with the King James answered the question. And the Jeopardy people who created the question, very likely that's where they got it. So they felt, well, it's in the Bible, isn't it?
The early church fathers offered some guesses about the book's authorship. Among them, Luke the physician, or Clement, who later became the Bishop of Rome. But almost 2,000 years later, there's still no consensus.
Now, what are the internal clues as to who this person is? This person says he's not an eyewitness. He doesn't claim to be an apostle. If you read the first 4 chapters and read between the tea leaves, it's clear that he knows some eyewitnesses. He knows his first century situation, but he's not claiming to be one of them. Second thing that's clear from his Greek, there are phrases, little tidbits, that are echoes of phrases of Paul from Galatians and 1 Corinthians. So he knows Paul. He knows a couple of Paul's early letters. Who could this be?
If I had to guess, pull a name out of a hat with known names, I'd say Barnabas. Why? I'm intrigued by the ending of it. The last few verses of chapter 13 begin to remind us a little bit of Paul, and they know Timothy. And there's this kind of grace and peace and truth, and it sounds a lot like a Pauline conclusion to a letter. Clearly, Paul didn't write Hebrews. So what's going on here? What I think is going on is that when Paul becomes a believer and is discipled at Antioch under somebody like Barnabas and other leaders of the church centered in Antioch, he picks up on the Christian lingo. This is the way Christians are talking. A lot of it comes right out of the Old Testament. And so whoever wrote Hebrews has this shared vocabulary. It's rubbed off on Paul, it's rubbed off on Barnabas, rubbed off on other people. So if it isn't Barnabas, it's somebody like him, part of the Antioch connection, who has absorbed this way of talking in greetings and salutations. That's where I would go with it.
Well, I think Apollos is the best candidate for being the author of Hebrews. Now, what do we know about Apollos?